I'm just not the only person in the world with this mindset or with this idea. A couple of weeks to the marathon, I came down with rheumatism. I was limping. I couldn't work. Maybe they are just not so brave enough to talk about it. I remember one time I was at the venue. We had not started setting up because I did not have money to pay for as little as the wood to set up. Like, I'm just even talking about one aspect of the challenge. I'm not talking about the struggles I've had or the attacks I've had to face. See, there's no good thing that comes with that attack.
Miracle John refers to herself as Sarauta Arawamina. She's a trailblazer in culinary excellence and entrepreneurship. She's a dynamic chef, writer, author, speaker, and biochemist. Miracle John is the visionary founder of Mina's Kitchen, a brand that provides outdoor and indoor grill services, consultancy, and assistance in setting up new grill houses, making it a one-stop destination for grill enthusiasts and entrepreneurs. Now, in December 2024, Miracle achieved a historic milestone by grilling for an incredible 110 hours, breaking the Guinness World Record for the longest barbecue marathon run by an individual. If for the longest time you have been the smallest in the room, you're the person behind the scenes, like, do you even know the sound of your voice? What do I sound like? And you have stories, ideas, and opinions buzzing in your head. It is time for you to level up. This is the place for you. You are the main character here, and your story matters. I am Chiwendo, and this is Hordinary. This is Hordinary. Ladies and gentlemen, if your hands aren't too busy, help me welcome my victorious woman for today, Miracle John.
Thank you so much for having me.
I must applaud your record-breaking adventure. But before we get into all of that, let's start from the beginning. Let's start from where it stopped. So, I kicked off Victorious Woman for 2025 with a friend of mine who is also a chef. And guess what? She's also a biochemist.
Oh, wow.
I studied biochemistry too. So I am wondering, I asked her the same question. Why didn't you study culinary arts? Instead, you went for biochemistry. So I'm throwing the same question to you. Why did you study biochemistry instead of culinary arts?
Okay, so in all honesty, yeah. I think my fate was long decided before I was born, because I've never seen myself as a science student or anything like that. Growing up, all I wanted to do was to be on TV, to be a presenter. I wanted to be like the big woman who talks on TV and brings to life whatever she deems fit or whatever good thing she sees happening around her. I wanted to be a voice that is reckoned with, that speak for the voiceless. I think growing up, I saw myself like the defender of the defenseless. Like even in school, you always see me fighting for injustice, trying to reclaim people's rights, and that was all I wanted to do. But some things happened, family happened, and I somehow found myself in the science classes and doing biochemistry. But as life went on over time, I realized that none of that was a mistake at all, because even now in the culinary world, there is so much that I understand about the human body.
There's so much chemistry going on.
About chemical reactions, how our body interacts with the food we eat and the environment. And I think it makes a huge difference in how I approach food processing, preparation of food. Like, I don't just put things together and bring it to people. As a matter of fact, long before there was this big buzz about staying away from artificial additives or ingredients or the MSGs, I've always been a big fan of whole spices, natural whole spices. Like, I don't know what is in those sachets. I mean, they can put contents, but at the end of the day, it's their word. I don't have access to what they put together. But when I go for whole spices, natural whole spices and fresh vegetables, I'm aware of what I'm putting in. I'm aware of what to expect. And I know it is also healthy. I mean, how else do we explain our ancestors living so long and healthy and stronger than we are now?
Those spices
and you know, all those things. So I've always been a big fan of whole spices, and I think being in the biochemical world has opened my eyes to understand these things better.
So the pathways they taught you in school helped your chef
Yes.
career. That is amazing because I do not know how to use that certificate yet. Okay, I love that for you. So the next question I would love to get into how your journey started. Walk me through the first roles you took up, like when you wanted to enter into this culinary industry, into the culinary world. What were the first roles you started with, and what lessons did you learn from them?
Okay, so many years ago as a child, I was very selective with food. And it's not even about I eat this or I don't eat that. Like, you can bring rice, I eat rice, but because today I don't want to eat rice, there's nothing you would do that will make me eat rice.
Yeah.
And it can be rice, I want to eat rice, but it is not jollof rice. It is rice and stew. Jollof rice will not work. I will not eat it. I was that kind of child. I just felt like eating should be more than just getting nutrition and survival. I mean, you should eat what you want, when you want to eat it, how you want to eat it, in the proportion you want to eat it. It should be prepared in the exact way you want it.
What your mouth is seeking for.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, eating time should be pleasurable. It should be something everyone is looking forward to. I'm a foodie inside out. So, like, generally I'm a spontaneous person. Maybe it's because I'm a sanguine, but like, I like spontaneity. I like new things. I like to experiment. Okay, my mind just figures, I think if they put this and this together, it's going to work. I'm going to put it together and experiment it. Do you get? So because somebody else somewhere say we can just eat rice and beans and stuff, that is what we are restricted to. No, I'm not that kind of person. And somehow I felt like I'm just not the only person in the world with this mindset or with this idea. Maybe they are just not so brave enough to talk about it. I remember one time I was so hungry and I would not have what was in the house, and my mom swore that she's not going to give me something else. And then my cousin comes with this. I think that was the first time I heard that saying. He said, when the preferable is not available, the available now becomes preferable. Yeah. I can never understand that. Yeah. It's something that I cannot even relate with.
You can go out and make what you want.
Especially when it comes to food and stuff. I mean, food is a basic. It's a need. There's no reason why I should want to outsource or maneuver. I mean, I understand that we are in Nigeria and things are not really okay or perfect for everyone, and so sometimes we just have to do what we have to do to survive. But it is something that fights against everything that I've ever believed in. Feeding should not be something that is negotiable. I mean, you should be happy when you are eating, not eating and squeezing your face and that kind of thing.
Make anywhere belly feast.
Yeah, so this passion pushed me into the kitchen.
Yeah.
My mom cannot cook this and I'm saying I'm not eating and I'm expecting her to be the one to go back and cook that thing. Besides, it's me that have the idea in my head and the whatever things the ancestors are whispering in my ears, so it pushed me into the kitchen. I found that I was always trying to try out stuff. Wherever people are gathered and cooking, you are sure to find me there. It's not even because I love eating. It's about me trying to see the process. And then I found that, if you don't want me to learn something, just make sure that I'm not there when you're doing it. Because if I see it, I'm going to replicate it. And I'm even going to do it and way better. Because before I'm going to set out to do mine, I'm going to look for ways to flip the idea and turn it over. That has always been it for me. And it's very interesting. It's so much fun. Do you get? A lot of things that I do now, yes, I had guidance, but most of them are actually things that I saw. Yeah, I saw and then I worked on them. That is why you will never come to me and get the same result twice. Unless that is the aim, you tell me that this is what you want. Every day, I want to surprise people by generating new stuff. It's just putting together genetics and experimenting and flipping them over and bringing new species. That is exactly how my mind works in the kitchen. So a long time ago, I found that I had passion for food and I had a weird idea than most people about what eating should be or what meal times should be. And that is it. I just found my way in the kitchen and I started picking up skill here and there. Wherever there is any culinary stuff going on, maybe some trainings, I'll just find my way there, pick up the lessons I can, and then move on to do further experimentations with it.
So the foodie in me jumped up when you said feeding shouldn't be negotiated with.
No,
you
shouldn't.
Eat what you want. You should if this one is available and you don't want it, go and look for.
Exactly.
I love that so much. Ooh, food is. I always tell people that, to me, hunger is an emotion.
Yeah, it is.
A very big emotion. I don't know why it's not being listed as an emotion. But once I'm hungry, everything is...
stops.
Like, you can't tell me nothing.
Exactly. Like, I can't even think properly.
I can't
function properly.
Do you understand? So, I'm like, just give me food. Give me proper... give me proper food. And
good
everything
food
goes well.
Good. See,
when people see me, they're like, "You're a woman. You're not." I'm like,
I can be broke.
Yeah.
I can not have money. I can have a lot of things going on. But there's a way, like being full. It comes with a special kind of joy.
Yeah.
Believe me, like you just feel like everything's going to be alright.
Yeah, like as far as my belly is filled. I love that. So the next one I want to ask you is, when people mention chef, when I hear chef, the only thing that I zone in on is just food, like rice, beans, spaghetti, lasagna, the intercontinental food, all those things. But reading your profile, it seems like you zoned into protein, meat, fish, seafood. Why is that?
Okay, so I do cooking, I do baking, and I do grilling. And for a long time, people know that I cook until about 6-7 years ago. I decided to like really pay attention to grilling because somebody offered me a chance, and I picked interest in it. I mean, we Northerners, we are meat lovers, so
yeah.
I picked special interest in it, and over the years, somehow that has been what has been on the forefront of my career. That is the part that people see most. Maybe because Northerners love meat, or maybe because we have so many people doing food, so it was easier for people to see that aspect of what I do more clearly.
Yeah.
Or maybe I just simply spoke about it more. I don't know. And then coupled with the Guinness World Record attempt now, it's as if it has taken like a forefront. Another thing that made grilling to take like a front seat in my career is the fact that we don't have a lot of women who do this thing. Okay, we are used to saying the Mesuya, they are always men. Even like chefs that do like grilling, if you go on YouTube, most of them that you find there, it is dominated by men. All right, so it is not a common thing, especially in the north. It is not a common thing for you to see women doing what I do, trying to butcher meat or trying to prepare meat or even stand in front of the fire grill. It's not common. I mean, I
don't think I've ever seen a woman do that.
Even in this part of the north where at least it is a bit secular, I mean, we are more like open to allowing women do stuff. The highest you see women doing is grilling fish most of the time.
Oh, okay, yeah, fish.
Most of the time. You find them grilling fish. And it is usually like on a small scale.
Yes.
On a small scale. And it's usually, okay, just come and buy fish. But unlike me, I create recipes. I do different types of fish. I don't have one particular thing that I do. Maybe it's because I love to experiment. I don't know, but I think this is one of the reasons why proteins have taken the front seat in my career, and I'm absolutely loving it. I mean, I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
I still love to cook. Yesterday I cooked and it was amazing.
What did you cook?
Yesterday I made jollof rice. My friends wanted jollof rice, so we made jollof rice. But
can I be your friend?
I
like friends that can cook.
Of course, maybe you can join us for my birthday. My birthday is on Saturday.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
okay.
Maybe we'll do something. Of course, I'm
We
a
can.
foodie. Whatever something has to try involve food.
We land there. We are going to be there. So I can already get a peek into your mind on how you want to do different things. There are different things you have the ability to do. You have the gift for. Before we go into your record-breaking adventure, let's talk about you being an entrepreneur. You have Mina's Kitchen, where you sell freshly dressed and frozen meats, selling of spices and spice rubs. That's when things that they can rub on their meat or on their protein to make it taste good. Now, you also offer grilling services and help people set up their grilling houses. What's been the trip, the journey of taking up that mantle of business, of starting a business? Because I know in Nigeria, with the whole fluctuation of naira, inflation, and removal of fuel subsidy, it has been a journey for entrepreneurs. So what has been your own journey?
Okay, so I started cooking a long time ago. I think after secondary school, in 2014, I had a fast food spot where I did the noodles, chips, golden yam, just light stuff. Occasionally I like branch out and do stuff for people based on requests, but that was what I was doing.
Yeah.
And then when I got to school, I had to shut down the place based on schooling, and I was just doing only delivery stuff. And then in 2020, I mean, I had plans for after school, but then 2020 came with the COVID and all, and staying at home. I got restless. And I was like, by now, I'm supposed to be done with school and doing this. And then this whole thing is taking so long. I don't even know when it's going to end. So I just picked up. I remember I was not having money. I had nothing. So I went to meet my aunt who was into snack making. So I'll join her, we'll make snacks. And then I would post it, the process, online, and I'll take orders and I'll deliver them, and then I'll bring it back. I'll get my profits, and over time I was able to raise funds to actually pay upfront before I pick them up. Sometimes I'll gather from my profits and I'll just cook meals and advertise them on my page, like I was cooking for people, for actual people, but I was actually using my money to do those stuff just so that people can see all the things I could do. Over time, people started trusting me with their meals, asking me to deliver, even delivering all the way to Abuja.
Wow.
Yeah, so like I grew from there, and then I remember I was using the name Easy Life Food Vendors and Catering Services. Now, the idea behind Easy Life was, okay, maybe you're a working mother and you're not always available to cook meals for your children, but you want them to have home-cooked meals. Now, that was where I come in. I could either come to your place in your house and do the cooking, store them up in your fridge so that you can supervise how it's been done, or I could do them and deliver them at your doorstep. I was also available for the single bachelors. I mean, I was there for anyone who loved home-cooked meals and didn't really appreciate eating out in random restaurants. I mean, it's better to know one person you can trust with your meals than just eating just anywhere where you have no idea what is being done. And then the advantage of our service was that you had the privilege to decide the exact specifications. Do you want it spicy? What brand of spice do you use? Like seasoning? Like, we take those kind of special orders because of course when I'm cooking for just you. So you had the liberty to like decide exactly what you want, what type of protein and all those. Okay, so I grew from there over time. I changed my name from Easy Life Food Vendors to Mina's Kitchen because I wanted my name to be upfront. Yeah, I wanted people to associate the brand with the face behind the brand. So yeah, I used my name, Mina. Actually, Mina is an abbreviation of my first and second names. My name is Miracle Naomi. Yeah, so I just put them together. But Mina in German also means love.
Love, okay.
Yes, and of course, most people mistake the name Mina for Amina, but it's not. It's not. So yeah, I changed my name and I started venturing into other things like grilling, and so my niche expanded. It expanded and gave me like a wider coverage. And of course, because I'm a woman in a man-dominated world, my name moved on quickly in that niche. But of course, I did the masa thing, started with the Wena Weekend Treats, then I did the Wena Weekend Marathon, where we moved from one place to the other selling masa, especially during festive periods when it is hard to get street food. I was selling food at junctions and I made good money too, and I think it's part of what made me like blow up really fast. So
your entrepreneurial journey has been one of adventure because
truly
you try to create. It's not just I cook for you and do
no
there are different
phases. I have different things that I do. I go to trade fairs. I do my own events, my own grill events where people see stuff. I teach. I've done charitable activities, teaching people for free over the years on different programs, basic baking, grilling. I've had people take up the apprentice mode of learning with me as well. I remember last year I trained over 250 persons in an online grill class. All right. That was in 2023, and last year I had physical classes for the first time. I mean, outside the apprenticeship kind of stuff.
I had just teach them how to grill and everything involved.
Yes, I had like a deliberate physical class. All right, throughout the month of November for 5 weeks. That was what I was doing. So it has been a very exciting journey for me as an individual and then as a brand. Growing up, we didn't have it all, like we didn't have it on a platter of gold. Of course, we come from the average. I don't even know if we can say we are average, but God helped us. God helped our parents. So growing up, She's my friend.
Okay.
Yeah. So, growing up, we've had to look for ways that we could help ourselves. Maybe it started out of selfish reasons, because our parents could not really give us the things that we considered luxury that our friends had. So we wanted to do things that could afford us extra funds to buy the things that our parents considered luxury. In truth, those things are not necessarily luxury. But because of limitations of funds, our parents have to narrow down to the basics and the very important things. So to get the extra good stuff, like wearing a palm sandal instead of a rubber sandal, having a proper school bag instead of holding just anything, we had to like go and hustle. I remember I used to have some items in my mommy's shop. My mom had a shop. She sells tomato, food stuff, and some provisions. I remember sometimes I'll go and buy some Kodeyi things too and put. Those things are my own things, but they're in my mom's shop. So when we sell them, we'll put the money together and save up for a new session. So when school resumes, we're able to afford a new mask set, new set of stockings, new shoes, bag, and even buy some textbooks that were not necessary. I mean, like, I'm not saying they are not necessary per se. Our parents limit us to maths and English. You will get maybe quantitative and verbal because they are used for exercise. There may be best solution, but any other thing was considered luxury. But our friends had those, and we wanted them as well. And I've always been a reader. I love to read, so sometimes I just want to buy a storybook so that I have what to exchange with my friends. So that they buy something else, I buy something else, then we exchange and then we read. So getting all those things pushed me into entrepreneurship. I was always looking for ways to make extra bucks, extra money, offering services. I remember even fetching water for all those building sites. We'll go and fetch water. I remember then they used to charge 300 naira per drum. So we'll go and fetch. Before the end of the building, we don't fetch plenty drums. So we managed to save funds and buy a new slippers, a new skirt for church, those kind of stuff. So I think entrepreneurship for me started out as a means for survival, and then over time I became passionate about it. I mean, there is so much need in the world. People are looking for problem solvers, and I actually love to see people smile. I mean, you need this, and you're finding somebody that can provide that exact solution that you need. It's a beautiful way to look at life, and what better place to be than where you are able to put smiles on people's faces.
So what I'm hearing you say is that what drove you into business was your need for comfortability, your need for luxury. You have never tried to stay in your comfort zone.
No.
You always leave. Exciting. I've been your host, Chiwendo Perpetua Odimwe, and I have the miracle, John. And now, let's talk about your record-breaking adventure. In 2024 December, you achieved a historic milestone by grilling for 110 hours, breaking the Guinness World Record for the longest barbecue marathon run by an individual. Why? I know you love leaving your comfort zone. I know you want to experiment things, but what was the inspiration? Why did you decide to go on this adventure? And what was there like a strong desire or a call for you to do it?
Okay, so I don't know, maybe because I'm always spontaneous. I wanted to do stuff. Years ago, there was this buzz about the tallest man in the world.
Okay.
The GWR awarded someone as the title of the tallest man in the world, and I was a tall kid, and people taunted me for the longest of time. Dogua, taller. Like, I was taller than most of the kids that were my age. And then I was so slim and skinny. So, like, I even had this neighbor that would always call me Kashinkifi. Kashinkifi in Hausa means, like, fish bone. I was so slim and skinny. Yeah, it was mean. And sometimes I'll cry about it, we'll fight. I remember one day we fought so hard. I think that was when adults actually paid attention to the fact that what this guy is doing is bullying. He's bullying me, and I've had enough of it. So that day I fought that guy. He was stronger, of course, he's a boy, and he was older too. But on that day, I was just not going to have it. I have had enough, and I fought this guy about it. So when I saw the GWR for the tallest man, I was like, maybe something good can actually come out of this, me being skinny and tall and all. And I was looking forward to growing so big and hitting that record. And I was looking forward to it until I got to a stage and I stopped growing. I was not growing anymore. Nobody was seeing me. I mean, every other person got to a stage, they started growing up. So people still call me Dogo, but I knew that I was far from being. I mean, I was now becoming older and wiser. I knew better. So I knew it took more than just a few inches to be the tallest person in the world. So I just moved on to other things, doing music, writing. I write poems. I write inspirational stuff. And then, of course, my normal hustle to keep body and soul together, plus all the culinary stuff, learning to bake, improving on the skills I already had. I even made hair. I worked in a salon for a while. I fixed nails.
Wow.
Yeah, I did a number of things, truly, just to get by. After a while, I just found that I didn't really have passion for some of the things I was doing. It was about the money.
Just give me money.
Somehow, some of those ones fell off, like even the salon stuff and the fixing of hair and stuff. I mean, I can still do those things, but I'm very lazy about them now. But there was a time that, the more hair you make, the more money you get. So it was about the money. But over time, such endeavors fell off for me. And only the things that I was really passionate about managed to stick around or keep going. So I moved on from there quickly. Not until when Hilda Bassi made her Guinness World Record attempt. It kind of opened my eyes to see that, so there are other aspects to this thing.
It's not just being tall.
It's not just being tall or having the longest nails or having the widest mouth, because I had a myopic mindset of what the Guinness World Record was about. It was not just me. We had a lot of people that had that. No, we didn't know.
It could be an endless world of possibilities.
Yes, it is, but we didn't know that. And what Hilda Bassi did was to take off the scales from our eyes. And then I started to do my research, looking into stuff. And then there were my friends saying, Miracle, we've seen you do this thing for days. We've seen you cook for days without sleeping. We've seen you do stuff. We know you can do this thing. I still have tags on Facebook from my friends from those years, that time. And then last year, I had plans for last year, of course. One of the things I wanted to do was further establish myself in Abuja, get a space. I started in 2023 to get a space and establish my business in Abuja because I had moved there. I wanted to expand. I felt like I wanted to get to a bigger market, and Abuja was it for me. So I went there. I was doing my stuff, saving up for 2024, where I was going to do stuff. In fact, part of my plans for last year was that I was going to buy a car for my business, because sometimes I struggle to move grill stand, especially if I want to use the professional grill stand. The one that comes with the cover is big, is bulky. Moving it sometimes is a task, not to mention expensive. So when we end up doing these things, you find out that the cost of production is so high. So even if we had made sales or sold money, by the time you take out the expenses, you realize that we didn't make so much. All right. So getting a car was a necessity for my business to thrive and to function. So coincidentally, when I went to Abuja, I was working with a car dealer. He sells cars. So I had an insider knowledge of how it works, and I realized that you can actually get good second-hand cars for a very fair price if you are in the know, in the circle. So I already had a plan for how I was going to make a down payment and then pay in bits over time. But then I didn't know that God had his own plans. Of course, I came to Kaduna for Kaduna buy and sell, did some stuff, but somehow I lost money. After my first adventure, my business adventure for the year 2024, I had so much faith. I can be very optimistic, which is good, but sometimes it is also a cause, because sometimes we don't really pay attention to the facts or being careful.
Or being realistic about it.
Or being realistic. So I made a very huge leap, and Nigeria happened. And I couldn't even store my meat properly. They got I had to just give them out for free, just share them, because I had no way of storing them, and I knew they were going to get bad. So I made a huge loss, but I was still going out for my business, where I had a spot where I show up for to grill as a business. I had people that were working with me that I had to pay. I mean, transportation, feeding, and all. But then business was not really moving at some point. I mean, people had just got into the new year. There were so many uncertainties, especially about after election. People were waiting to see how the country will be. So people were not looking for luxurious stuff. People were not trying to eat grills. People were not trying to come clubbing or stuff. Because where I was working is at a club. I grilled there. So business was bad, and it turns out that we were spending more on transportation and production than we're making. And of course, the lack of light, if we don't sell out, it means we'll have to give it out. So we're making so much losses. And at some point, I had to even stop showing up. I just told my workers to stop coming.
Yeah.
Because, I can't be taking money from other sources and putting in the business. If you're not making money, then it's no longer a business. Even though I was passionate about it. And it's hard to actually sit back. And some of the people that are working with me actually don't have something else they are doing. So shutting everything down was kind of difficult, but it was a decision I had to make. And then I got duped to last year. Some people brought me this thing about government stuff about training women and youth and stuff, and I put some money in it, and it was a bad business decision, and I lost money. So at some point I was depressed, I was low, I had no money. I had a brand name. People thought I had money, I was doing well, but I was down, I was broke. I was home. I was basically, the only thing I was doing to help myself was read books. I was reading business books and all. Like, I cannot be making this kind of business blunders. So I just dived into, because the thing is, I have this thing. I like to be happy. Most of the time, I'm very vibrant and active. So when occasionally I find myself in these dark places, I do whatever it takes to get out as quickly as I can. So I was reading those books while trying to figure out what my next move will be. And then I remember this day I was so down. Even reading was not helping. So I dropped the book and I was thinking. And for like 30 minutes, I had only one prayer I was praying. God, please lead me not into temptation and deliver me from evil, because I had offers. I mean, I'm a very beautiful girl. I had people that liked me, that I just need to like smile back at them to actually get them to help me do stuff.
Yeah.
So if I wanted the easy way out, trust me, I was going to get it. I know how to get it, but that was not me. This is not my person. So I was so tempted, because I've had enough. I was depressed. I was sad. I mean, this is at some point I was giving people money, but right now I can't even do stuff for myself. I cannot even do the barest minimum, like to buy soap to wash my clothes. I have to wait for my dad or my mom, and it was devastating. For someone that have left home and I've lived by herself, now coming back to the house, it was terrible for me. I was sad. And then this call comes in from Sarah, dear Peter, and then she's saying, "Girl, what's up now? You've been quiet. Why not do this thing? We know that you can do it." She was talking about the Guinness. When are you going to send in the application? I was like, okay, after this call, I'm going to go on the website and I'm going to find something that I'm going to do. And I'm going to send in the application. And then I remember throughout that evening, I was awake till like 1 a.m. the following day. I've done my research. I've gone through the available options. And when I came across the grilling marathon, I knew exactly what I was going to do. All right, so I picked that. I sent in my application. I got a response email to say they've received my application and I should wait in for their official response as to whether my application has been approved. Immediately I got that, I started talking to people. I was like, okay, I've sent in my application for this and I've gotten a response mail. Now I'm waiting for the official acceptance of my application so I can proceed. And excuse me.
Sorry.
And thank you. I started talking to these people and started looking at what it took for me to achieve that feat. I knew it was going to be very capital intensive and money I don't have. But I knew that I had a number of good friends and I knew that I've established trust with my brand over the years. So I knew I had that. Those were some of the advantage that I had. Yeah. I had the advantage of relationship and having good friends and the goodwill of a lot of people. So I decided to focus on my strength and take off my eyes from the things that I didn't have. Yeah. So when I got the acceptance mail, now I started making deliberate effort to reach out to people. And then I made my official post about it and I got an interview online. And then I spoke about it and the problems I was facing towards the accomplishment of the brand. All right, towards the accomplishment of the brand. So I sent in the application and preparation started. Yeah. I started trying to create a budget plan, a strategy plan, how I was going to do this to excel. I also found during my research that we have a lot of people that are Guinness World Record holders that nobody knows about. I mean, they have the certificate, they've been awarded, but nobody knows them. Yeah. And while the Guinness World Record certificate is good and is an advantage, I mean, what's the good of being something and nobody knows?
Yeah. It's like carrying gold.
Especially for a business person. So I knew that if I'm going to do this, I needed to maximize on publicity, on having a wide audience and reaching a lot of people. Now, how do I do that without money? I mean, if I had money, I could do the big things that the big people do. In fact, some people had the opinion that I should run my campaign exactly as Hilda Bassi did has. But of course, who am I to compete with Lagos people or Hilda Bassi? I mean, they had a better platform to achieve those than I do. And you can't beat somebody at their own game. So I decided to create my own game plan where I am king. And that was what I did. I stuck to being myself. I stuck to being unique. I stuck with telling my own story, my own way, with my own words, and showing the world the truth, what it is. And that was my game plan. Come out, let the world see you, and let those that truly believe join you on this marathon. And that was exactly what I did. And it worked because we did it. And even though I know a lot of people are, did she even get approval? The answer to that question is yes. But of course, I don't have to respond to every negative comment. All right. Yes, we got approved. There's emails to show for that. I have proof. I just decided that I don't even owe these people's answers. All right. I don't owe them answers. And some people are like, when is she going to get awarded? Or did she just do it? I mean, I've seen a number of anonymous posts saying gibberish. The thing is that I don't owe you any explanation. I cannot even go and ask Guinness World Record and say, Alpha, when are you going to give me my certificate? When it comes, it comes. The truth is that I did it. The world saw me do it. All right, it's there. The evidence is there online. I was live.
At the end of it all, you doing that amount of hours prove to yourself and to other people that you are capable.
I'm capable. So it does not even matter whether the certificate comes for me. I've done it. I've moved on from there. I have other dreams now that I'm chasing, other very beautiful things that I can do. So whether Guinness World Record sends the certificate or not, I'm good. The world now knows that this girl is capable of doing this and so much more. And that is the aim.
Yeah.
All right. I don't need this. The certificate is not a proof of my worth. I'm already worthy.
Ooh.
I mean, I did it.
Yes.
The world saw me do it. All right.
If it is easy, the anonymous people, the people that
you get. So I've just moved on from there, and I'm focusing on doing my own thing, on doing the good stuff that I'm used to doing. The thing
is, I believe the breaking the record brought you more business deals and more attention.
Exactly. Even though we're hoping for more.
Yeah.
I mean, we have been doing excellently well. We have been doing excellently well. And I was down as at the time I sent in the application.
Yeah.
But after I came out and I saw how much people needed to have faith, how much people were struggling too with their own stuff, coming from a disadvantaged background, struggling to make a life for themselves or make a name for themselves or even just survive. I'm telling you that I feel so much energy. I feel so much strength. I feel like, why was I even feeling down in the first place when all these people have been looking up to me? I mean, some people stepped out to share how much inspiration they get from. I mean, I felt I was in the gutters. I was drowning. But even in that, people were seeing me as an inspiration, as someone who gave them hope. And right now I realize that, no, I cannot fall back in that place. I need to show up for those people. I need to continue to inspire. I need to keep chasing. I need to keep pushing, which is why I show up every day. Whether I have money or I don't have money, I come out and I say, "What? There's so much more than money.
You're going to operate from abundance.
I'm valued. I'm valued at so much more. There's so much I can do. There's so much I can say. There's so much impact I can make with or without money. And there are so many people. I mean, coming out to do the Guinness World Record showed me that we have so many people that are just looking for the right place to invest in or to support. You just need to show them that you can and you are trustworthy. That is what the Guinness World Record did for me. That is why I show up. That is why I do it anyway. And I just believe that things are going to fall in place. I'm telling you that when I sent in the application for Guinness, I had no money. I was broke. I had nothing in my account. I know my parents cannot afford to sponsor what I was doing. I was not even telling them. But by the time I started telling them, they didn't really understand it. All right. Right up to the day before the marathon, she's aware I was at the venue. We had not started setting up because I did not have money to pay for as little as the wood to set up this. After I had not printed the banners.
Oh God.
But within, like, so much can happen within the shortest time frame. And it happened. I'm not owing anybody. I didn't have the money, but somehow the bills got paid. The job got done. We fed the almajiris. We gave out to people that needed to be reached out to. And that is enough. That is a big win. All right. So if you're listening to this and you're doubting whether you're doing well or if what you're doing is right, just don't stop pushing. Believe me, there's somebody that is just below the ladder and the person is looking up to you to take that next step so that they can follow suit.
Yeah.
Please don't stop.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing that. Wow. Okay, so I saw something that said most times when you are down, you forget that there is someone out there that heard something you said before, read something you wrote before, so you do something.
True.
And that's what is driving them.
Exactly.
So in your moments of lowness or your depressive stages, there is somebody that is moving up because of something you have already done.
Yes.
Or you did. And I'm grateful that you didn't give up on that dream. I'm grateful that even this quote perfectly, not a quote, it's a Bible verse, perfectly describes your journey. You walked by faith,
Truly.
not by sight.
Truly.
Because if you wanted to walk by sight, your
Truly.
bank account,
I would have cancelled. I would have cancelled.
Yeah.
I would have cancelled it. That's the truth. That I'm just even talking about one aspect of the challenge. I'm not talking about the struggles I've had or the attacks I've had to face. See, there's no good thing that comes with that attacks. I know that some of us want to be all conventional. We've gone to school and we don't believe. See, man is spirit and spiritual things happen.
Yeah.
She saw a scar on my leg and she was like, what happened to you? She saw it yesterday. And I was like, this is one of the attacks that I faced. Like, things were happening that were not explainable. I've never been admitted before now in the hospital, but last year I got admitted. I was sick. I've never had cases of rheumatism. Last year, all of a sudden, a couple of weeks to the marathon, I came down with rheumatism. I was limping. I couldn't work. But I was still showing up for exercises. I was still doing the things that I had to do. So, yes, I had financial challenges, I had the spiritual challenges, and the physical challenges.
Yeah.
And then the people that will show you upfront that we don't like you, we don't even care what you're doing, and you're just a nobody. How dare you? Yeah. You know, there's so much toll it takes on you. You just have to decide if you're going to listen, if you're going to let them get to you, if you're going to let them break you. It all boils down to that. All right?
Yeah.
I think I'm sharing so much and I'll just stop here.
What I'm going to do is, of course, we're already at like 40 minutes. Okay. So I'll try to reduce it to 30. Okay. But I'll leave the longer version.
Okay.
Post it to a site that anybody that wants to listen to the longer version can listen to it. That's why we are still talking to you now, because I believe like what you have to say is really important.
Sorry.
Yeah. Did you say sorry?
No, I said it's all right.
Okay, sorry. I thought you said sorry for what? Okay, so the next thing, when you were talking about your Guinness World Record journey, you mentioned your friends, your family, and I believe those are the people that anchored you and supported you and led you through the journey. Now let's come to you. After the whole Guinness World Record, breaking the record and everything, what are the things you started putting into your daily doings to make sure that you have a fulfilled and great day?
Okay. I remember immediately after the marathon, even when people were saying you should rest, I continued exercising. Yeah. I didn't want my body to be numb. I didn't want to fall back, so I was still doing my routines in the house. Even while I was in the hospital, I was doing my exercise, I was doing my routines. Usually I can be very carefree about how I look. I mean, life is not supposed to be that hard, and generally I come off with that tomboy vibe. But I've had people talk to me, and people that I know just really care about me, telling me that you can't just show up any way you like now. There's so much eyes on you. There are so many people that are looking up to you. I mean, we're not saying you should change your person, but you can try to look better. You can try to appear better. I mean, you can be good. you can be gold, but if you are hidden in so much dirt, people might not be able to recognize you as gold. And I picked that lesson, and I've been trying to be very deliberate about not just showing up, but showing up looking good.
I can absolutely relate, because most times I'll just stand up from my bed, I'll be like, I want to come to work with my pajamas. But then you cannot do that.
Exactly what I'm saying. And then moving on to chasing my dreams.
Yeah.
Now, this thing comes with at a price.
It does.
There are things that I cannot do now. I mean, people assume that somehow I've now jumped into money. And every day I come online and there's somebody that is requesting for stuff that I don't have to give. I mean, I don't even have money. I mean, I'm still living with someone.
Yeah.
I cannot even afford an accommodation.
Yeah.
I don't have a car. People think I have a car. But because there are certain things that I cannot do now, I used to enjoy very long strolls on the street. It's one of the way I relax my mind and think. But I can't even really do that now, because I might just bump into somebody that has something to say in their bloody anonymous post, or even under my comments. Miracle is day she does not have. What if I just want to be comfortable most of the time? But I can't even do those things anymore.
Yeah.
All right? And some people are afraid to reach out to me now because they feel like I'm too big for the jobs that they have, which is, in a way, is not completely true. I mean, I have a business. I have people that work under me. I know that we've not been very active, and some of them have to be doing other stuff, but they are there. There's a structure. If you give me a job, I have people that are going to do it. If you say you want me to do it, of course, I can run the marinade and get it done. But some people don't know that, and I've tried to come out and put on my page and say, okay, we are doing this, we are doing that. I'll make posts about it, but people are feeling like now I'm high up there. Now, I try to look at it positively. I feel like this is a transition phase. It is a waiting phase. I'm not really at the top where I'm getting all the big jobs and all. And I can't really go back to like the real hustling for jobs, reaching out to people. How far? Yeah. This event, I can't necessarily do that anymore.
Because like jobs are meant to be coming to you.
Exactly. So there are things, and while I appreciate the task of what my team is doing to make sure that I don't make major brand blunders. I mean, keeping me from making a wrong move or stuff. It's coming at a price. Ordinarily, it's January. Usually our peak period happens from October to like February. It's my peak period. I'm not supposed to be this broke. But I am broke because I was busy with the marathon. I didn't get to do the normal hustle. And whatever money I had, personal funds, went into the marathon. Now I'm supposed to be looking for a way to bounce back. But I can't just do anything to bounce back. I have to relax. I have to be patient. And then there's the having to show up, go to place. Some people say I've not given interviews. It's not about giving interviews. Going to interviews costs money. I have to go to these places, and I cannot just fly bike now in peace. I mean, you're on bike and somebody saying I saw you. You know, this kind of things. God. It's coming at a price, and it's expensive. Even giving a press release comes with money. They don't do these things for free. All right, I don't have one godfather that is pumping money until I'm stable and on my feet. I'm still that girl from the streets. My parents are still civilians trying to and then I still have siblings in school. My family gave me so much towards the end of the year. I remember my parents putting all of their salaries those ending months of the year. People do Christmas. We don't do Christmas for my house because all the money went into the marathon. So I can't be expecting my parents to keep pumping money to me when my siblings are resuming school. So most of the time, I just look at what people say online and I'm like, please, I have so much going on with me right now. I can't even pay attention.
So much more to focus on.
I can't even pay attention to all this noise you guys are making. That is not the goal for me. All right. So yes, we're making progress. It's slow, but we're going to get there.
Surely. So to wrap up the show, tell me one book you think everybody should read.
Whoa. Okay, so I'm a reader and I read. Okay, currently now I'm reading 2 books. I'm reading one on copywriting and I'm reading the second one, which is the one I'm going to talk about. I mean, the one on copywriting, I have a picture of it online, so I'm not going to say, you already know the name.
Yeah.
So I'm going to talk about the one I'm reading. It says, all marketers tell stories. But on the book cover, you see all marketers are liars, and then they cancelled are liars, and then they wrote tell stories. Yeah. All right. I've always been a storyteller and all, but I've always struggled to like merge my stories with selling something, which is what copywriting should be about. Which is why I'm reading telling stories and copywriting at the same time. Because I'm looking for how to tell my stories while selling what I do in a way that people are willing to buy into my story and what I sell. All right. So as a business person, please, even as you're passionate or you have passion for what you do, even though you are aware that you have a very good product that the world needs, if the world doesn't know, if they can't relate to the story, or the world doesn't know about your product, you'll find out that you are struggling. There's passion, there's good product, but there's no sales, and there's no business that thrives with no sales, which is what I've been trying to do now. For so long, I was so focused on the product and developing myself. I didn't really put so much into selling myself and my product, which is something I'm learning to do now, deliberately this time. So please, as a business person, try to read business books, read investment books, read everything that you need to know about business, because after passion, please, let's make money.
Money is very important, because I used to have this like naive mentality that, my passion would, of course your passion will get into it, good, but
your bank account, it's not enough.
So finally, my final question: is Mina's Kitchen doing a Valentine package this year?
Yes, we are.
Okay.
Yes, we are. Even though I've not started talking about it, I think because you've asked me now.
I love Valentine packages a lot.
Today, I'm going to go and write it. Maybe me, Seth. I don't know whether I will get Valentine packages.
So tell the listener that wants to follow you on social media or anywhere where to find you.
Okay, so on Facebook, my name is Miracle John, in brackets Sarauta Arewa Mina, or you can find at Sarauta Arewa Mina. That's my page. And then there's Mina's Kitchen. At Mina's Kitchen on Facebook. On IG, it's at Mina's Signature. But if you're looking for me on IG, it's at Arewa Food Queen. Twitter, at Arewa Food Queen. All right. Those are my handles. And if you're looking for me on WhatsApp, 081 888 8453. I'll come again, 081 888 8453. Maybe you just want to talk to me or relate with me. My DM is open. You have a suggestion, you have an idea, you are thinking collaboration, please don't feel intimidated, don't feel afraid, don't think that she will snub me. I respond to my DMs. Please send me a message, but please don't come toasting me. I am not looking for a boyfriend.
That's what I want to say.
I'm not looking for a boyfriend. Business deals only.
Thank you so much, Miracle John, for gracing us with your story. I can't lie, your Guinness World Record story was really moving, inspiring, and emotional. And my biggest prayer for you, because you have come on this show, victory would never run away from you.
Amen.
Defeat is at the door.
Amen.
And victory, we're bringing it in, okay? Thank you so much. And to you listening, I hope you got inspired. I hope this story shaped your mindset and you would run with her story, and make sure that you don't stay in your comfort zone for a long time. Go and look for something to do with your life, because this money, we are making it
this year.
Yeah. Thank you so much. And thank you for listening, and thank you to you, Miracle John.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah. Till next time, Victorious Woman comes back every Wednesday at exactly 5:30 p.m. I've been your host, Chinwendu Perpetua Odin, where I would always tell you, be the light in the darkness and go out into the world and bear fruit.
I feel that.
From I and Miracle, we are saying a big bye-bye.
Bye.
Yeah.